Hey, my wonderful Gemini placements. Christina here, Ginger Mama Tarot, coming at you with your month of June extended Tarotscope. I am so hyped to be back. I did these last year. I did not do them this year, and people have asked me to bring them back. So here I am. These will be posted monthly. It is your monthly extended look at the astrology for you and what you want to focus on your spiritual journey. As my birds chirp. Maybe communication significant this month. But let's dive into what I was channeling for you before we jump into the astrology and the tarot. So when I was channeling for you, it was just a group image of like, I'd say 6 to 8 people. And everyone was wearing green, okay? Like dark green dresses, dark green suits. Do you hear that? That's the doorbell noise. That's okay. Like someone's downstairs. But that is that energy of magic. Do you hear that? That's beautiful. I love how that came in. It's like you might be having these magical breakthroughs, or you feel like you've been having them. Although that can be difficult to go through some of those dark nights of the soul, this feels very good for you. There is a feeling though of regrounding this month. We're going to get into that with the astrology, of taking what you're learning from this heart space center and anchoring it down in a tangible way, okay? A lot of karmic clearing too. Anything for you Geminis that's been occurring over the last 6 months, a lot of that clearing is occurring right now. So pay attention or think back. We're halfway through the year. What's gone on the first half of this year? And what do you want to do with the second half? Okay, what do you want to do with the second half? So let's dive in. We kick off this month. By the way, happy birthday to all of you. Happy birthday. Whether your birthday was last month or this month. But June 3rd is a full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is this fire energy. It's expansive. It can be related to travel, things like that. Although I don't know, travel might be significant for you, but it doesn't feel super intense. Maybe something in the future. Yeah, look at that Gemini energy on the bottom of the deck. I love this. The Lover's card is Gemini energy. I always love to point out, by the way, the feminine energy looks to spirit, right? And the masculine looks to her for guidance. We all hold masculine and feminine energy, everyone. That is the yin yang balance within us. And so many of you actually, I feel like, have been in a state of more feminine energy, really tapped in with those upper chakras, the third eye, the crown, speaking truth, your throat chakra. But that heart space center is where you're sitting right now. But spirit wants you to anchor this into these lower chakras this month, and we're going to dive into why. Your love, your understanding of that duality is being called out and highlighted in a very unique way, Geminis. Like, it feels like you have a really unique way of doing this, and maybe some people misunderstand you, but I like this for you. I like this for you. These cards are spilling out though, so maybe there really is something, especially over the past 6 months, that has to do with love, that you're trying to clear out. Yeah, the Tower here, but the Sun, I mean, keep going. This full moon could really highlight for you some areas of your life that you're not fully addressing. These dark nights of the soul, these tower moments where we go inward, we process the emotions. I know air sign energy can be very logically driven, but it feels like tapping into that heart space, really asking, what do I desire? What are the emotions coming up for me right now, okay? Because it feels like you've been carrying a heavy burden, and you're just ready to lay it down. You're ready for the next chapter. In the Sun here, happiest card in the deck. It's coming for you, but it feels like the first piece of this month might be a little bit rocky to get there. There's something you've been ignoring. There is something you have not been addressing, okay? Like an avoidance of sorts. This could be pertaining to your spiritual journey. This could be a relationship. That Lover's card in the beginning feels like maybe you're not making a choice around love. A lot of conflict, maybe drama. I mean, my goodness, you guys, the moon, there's a lot of secrets, a lot of delusions. You might be sitting there saying, I had nothing to do with it. I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. And it's like, double check that. Okay, we're all the problem and we're all the solution. But you need to first be able to see what your role is in this, Gemini, before you can break free of that. And yeah, look at that. There it is. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy here. That logical energy is so healing, that decisive energy. But we want to ground our logical understanding with that heart space, that green, that intuition, right? The green sits in the center of the upper chakras, the lower chakras, the embodiment of it all. And I love that for you. It just feels like this radiating energy. I want to also point out with the star here, some of you, if you've not already experienced this, this month might be a time earlier in the month where reflecting on like a cell phone charger or a light out your window, a smoke detector, or just closing your eyes and having those visions, you might see Archangel Raphael with the green light speaking truth. Or if it's not archangels, you might just see this green light presented to you in some beautiful imagery, okay? That is spirit trying to divinely guide you on your path, especially when it comes to romantic partnerships. Do not push this away. Don't be defensive here. I feel like there's this energy where it's like, you know, what's occurring in the collective healing is not necessarily dark, but you're really coming at it from a very logical view. You're like, no, this is done, or that happened, or there was conflict, I'm never going back. It's like this focus solely on you right now, and you really need to branch out that perspective. Yes, it's critically important we all heal independently, but we also have to understand how intricately woven we all are. We are all one in and of ourselves, but we are also one collectively. And that can be a difficult thing to navigate. It makes me think of Libra energy. Maybe you've been struggling with this concept since last Libra season, or this will be really highlighted for you going through to this fall Libra season, October time frame here. This idea of balance and duality, and what piece am I responsible for, and how am I intricately connected. There's a feeling of this lack. It's like you feel like romance maybe didn't work for you in the past, or there's not love here, maybe not feeling very sexually like engaged with anyone, or stalled out, lacking passion, lacking desire, guys. And listen, that might change for you, but pay attention if it doesn't. Here's why. June 5th, we have Venus entering Leo, which is a fire sign, okay? We got Aries, Leo, Sag here. And it increases romance, affection, and creative endeavors. And so if you feel like that's not happening for you, maybe ask yourself why. Again, coming back to that heart space center, maybe focusing on self-love and self-pleasure and how to transmute energy in that way. Okay, this is really important. You can begin to understand the feelings also with the amount of information you're taking in, right? Pausing, reflecting, because it's like spirit is trying to bring you love, I'm telling you, but you're a little bit stalled out, or you're doubting your own ability to share in that way, to open up emotionally. Maybe you feel like in the past when you've been really rejected or hurt, and that's valid, but we want to release this. Venus is the planet of love. I'm telling you, your wishes are fulfilled. This is supposed to be healing, this love you have for you. But you've got to be open to this, okay? Self-love, love of the collective, new relationships, etc. And focus on that. You know, have you hurt someone? Have you broken their heart? Like, is there someone you're supposed to reach out to? So many of these cards, look at this. It's like you've been hiding out, Gemini. You've been hiding out. And it's like spirit keeps showing you spirit's real. All these different conscious, you know, awakenings that you're having, subconscious too. And it continues to happen, and you're so like, this is amazing. That chime again, this is amazing. I love that. But it's like you refuse to really get out of that hiding ghost mode and do this outwardly, okay? And this Venus in Leo energy might really encourage you to do just that, to take a leap of faith forward, to say, is there a relationship I need to review or reflect upon? Is there something that I need to like do or close out in person, okay? Not just energetically, everybody. So focus on that around the 5th. June 10th, we have the last quarter moon in the sign of Pisces. And so again, this highlights this for you, Geminis, significant endings over the next week or so. And this is a deep dive again into the subconscious. So if you can take the risk earlier in the month, around the 5th, okay, Venus in Leo energy, to say the thing, to do the thing, to have the conversation in person, ideally, tangibly on earth, right? See how that goes, sit with it. And anything that comes up, then allow this energy of that last quarter moon on the 10th to be a purge for you, okay? Whether this is just anxiety, fear, again, karmic clearing, rejection, abandonment, anything coming up for you, Geminis, this is the time to release that block, okay? The other thing significant about the month of June is Pluto has a new like landing pad, let's say, for quite a while. It's very, very highlighted astrologically. It's a big deal. It's gone from Capricorn into Aquarius, but it will retrograde a couple of times before it fully stations in Aquarius. So this is a very interesting period collectively. A lot of struggle of, again, What is totally free floating, especially when it comes to like relationships and work? What are the boundaries? Capricorn loves tradition and structure, but Aquarius loves to challenge that. And so Aquarius, Pluto's going to move right back into Capricorn and ask you, what do you need to complete? What needs finished, right? Are there relationships that are just done? Are there relationships that need commitment? Are there work projects that you need to focus on? Things like this. This is going to be a great time to really ask yourself. Justice reversed in strength. If something is not just, if there is a legal issue, financial issue, something like that, you have the strength to overcome this. You have the strength to do something about it. Love here. If you've not been just in love, you better collect the strength, to be honest, okay? I know you love this person, but if it's not meant for you, we need to be moving forward, okay? If it's not equal give and take, we need to be moving away from that, all right? Really getting clear, really asking that with that energy. And this Aquarius energy, by the way, I want to point out, there's the star again. It is this idea of some of you are struggling with this concept where it's like you want open relationship dynamics. That's why you will not commit to exclusive dating. Capricorn loves commitment to exclusive partnerships. But Aquarius is more like, no, I want to date everybody. I want to hook up with everybody. If that's what you want to do, that is completely acceptable. However, you cannot string people along and imply to them that later you will commit. You need to own that piece of yourself. If you want open relationship dynamics, it's imperative you speak up and state that from the very beginning. This is only sex, or I want an open relationship, or I do not. You need to be getting clear. Pluto in going back into Capricorn is really going to ask you, you had a taste there for a minute. We're going back. Which one do you want to choose? What is it you really desire and want, and why, right? This isn't about possessing anyone or controlling anyone, but there are tangible reasons why sometimes open dynamics might not work. We think of pregnancy, children, finances, etc. But there are other times where that's really great. People feel like they can learn a lot of people and explore different paths. So really ask yourself, you've got to get clear here, especially children involved. I am telling you, I cannot tell you how many clients I talk to, male and female bodies, but especially my male clients, who are stunned when a female body they only hooked up with once or twice comes to them and says, I'm pregnant. And they doubt this. It creates a ton of fucking drama. It's a mess. And I'm telling you right now, Geminis, you better slow the horse down and really reflect. Okay, really, really reflect. You got to have the ability to speak truth. This feels very significant for some of you with that Justice card reversed. You're going to feel possibly, if you don't take these steps to engage, like I'm telling you, karmically, if you're not asking the questions, Gemini, I know you're good communicators. You can do this. You can ask, what is this? Are you on birth control? Are you with other people, etc.? You need to stand up for yourself. You need to protect yourself, okay? This could also be a financial stall out in some way. And so really ask, is there a block to commitment because of past failed relationships? Or is there a block to commitment because it's ultimately what you don't want? You feel like it inhibits your freedom. You get to decide here. You co-create with spirit. I'm not going to give you the answer. Like, this is ultimately up to you. But when it comes to karma, karma is about truth, honesty, right? So you need to ask yourself, am I approaching partners who actually want commitment and then pretending they'll have commitment later, even though I never intend to actually commit? That would be on you, okay? So pay attention to your role in this, Geminis. June 17th, we have the Saturn retrograde beginning in Pisces. And so a lot of this Pisces energy here, Pisces is such a spiritual sign. Talk about head in the clouds. Sometimes we look at Pisces energy like that. And so with this retrograde period, this can be a time where suddenly you feel restricted in your spirituality. Some of you maybe have been dreaming a lot of third eye visions, maybe earlier in the month. You're feeling kind of tapped in with that. And you're like, oh, I'm doing this spiritual work. Yeah, I see a bird flying over there, like way down. It's like, and two white butterflies. It's so cute. Like you're ascending, you're feeling like, oh my gosh, this energy, it's so beautiful. Maybe moving your body in a lot of different ways to transmute and clear energy and call in abundance. And then suddenly June 17th is going to roll around and you're gonna be like, what's going on? Why am I feeling restricted? Where did it go? Wait a second. Am I in trouble, universe? It's not that you're in trouble. It's that Spirit's trying to get you to also ground. As much as we are spiritual beings on this planet, we're also here to be anchored, to be tangible, to create finances, to produce things on this planet, to enjoy the tangible things we have here. It's not just to sit in our, minds and wonder aimlessly, or our souls. This is also to be present in our physical bodies. And so ask again. That can also be a sign if you are tapping out, even if you don't intend to, or feel like you're being blocked spiritually or creatively, if there's a karmic clearing that needs to occur. Again, going back June 10th through the 17th, what needs to be cleared and addressed? What is your personal karma, not others? We're not going to sit here and ask what's theirs, what's theirs. This is us, Geminis. What is the thing? I have a Gemini rising, you guys. I get it. I understand the overthinking and the thinking of others. That has to be right now. What do you need to do, right? What is your heart telling you? And that's a reminder, as I say rising, please check out your rising, moon, and your sun sign, guys. These are all interlinked. If you do not know your whole astrology chart, I'm happy to help you on a client call, or feel free to use like a free app. There's a ton of them. You can look it up yourself, okay? You're going to want to know those things. June 18th, we have the new moon in Gemini. So new ideas, plans. Again, this is that anchoring of logic. You're going to feel like, whoa, I'm kind of like, my head's coming out of the clouds. I'm back into some of this more logical energy. That was an interesting experience. And that's beautiful for you. As you ground that, I feel like you're going to feel more stable if you did the work earlier in the month. If you did the work. But I'm telling you right now, Judgment with the Magician upright. Spirit is giving you this magical energy. And this is kind of like a test. Judgment reversed. Can you clear out karmic contracts that are not for you? Can you clear out your own karma? Can you stop judging others? Can you stay in your lane? Okay? Can you stay in your lane? It's like Spirit is like guiding you down a highway. And it's almost like, the little thing on your car when you like hit the thing and it tells you if somebody's coming up on your side. You got to trust that. You don't even need to look over. Spirit's telling you. Don't worry about them. Don't worry if they're speeding. Don't worry if they're going too slow. Don't worry about them. You stay in your lane. You do what we're guiding you towards, right? We're co-creating, right? We're co-creating, because there is just this undercurrent of judgment around you, or maybe you judging others or others judging you. And again, this judgment might be coming from a place of people view you right now as overly logical. They believe you are honest and true, but they're also questioning if you're decisive. Ask yourself, is there a reason people would view me as indecisive or cold or like lacking feeling? A lot of these cards are not cups. We're not seeing emotional vulnerability. And as I say that, Geminis, that's about to spill over towards the end of the month. The 26th, or the 21st, is Cancer season kickoff. And Cancer season is going to bring a lot of emotional support. It's going to ask, who do we want to keep in our life and why? How do we nurture others? How do we give to others emotionally? And how do we receive that, right? Some of us only receive emotional support. We don't actually give emotional support. That's a big question. Does it feel good to both give and receive? That is the balance. It should feel both, like magic, giving and receiving. A lot of lightness coming in for you at the end of the month if you can let go of only the mind. And again, tap in with that dark green heart space energy, okay? The 26th, we have the first quarter moon in Libra. Again, relationships, it's kind of a delicate time. It's like finesse. Like, I don't know how else to describe this. This is going to be a time where you're trying to be emotionally more vulnerable, but somebody else might be kind of like hesitant to this. Maybe they're not used to you opening up in that way. And you really need to trust your intuition, okay? You really need to trust your intuition. King of Wands here. There could be some passionate loving. There could be some good vibes here. But I'm telling you right now, you need to be coming at this from a place of not only lust, not only logic, but emotional truth as well. Yes, there's passion, there's the beautiful fiery energy there, but it's like only if you've done the work to really be in that energy. Some of you too may be embodying more of that King of Wands energy when it comes to finances or work. But I got to tell you, Geminis, the majority of this month feels more relationship focused. I do not see many cards here about finances. It doesn't mean money is not, everything's energy, not important to you. But right now it feels like this piece of your spiritual journey is focused on personal relationships, family, friends, lovers, how you equally give and take energetically in ways that maybe are not financial, okay? I want to point out too, the end of the month, the Neptune retrograde begins again in the sign of Pisces, everybody. And so this could be, again, a bump in the road where it's difficult to connect to your intuition. You're being asked to reground, to re-anchor, Geminis. So focus on that. How can you be a steady, stable figure? We don't have a lot of masculine energy that we see healed and embodying that, especially within relationships. Think about the concept of new earth. What do we want this to look like, right? We cannot just live in this past space of people feel uncomfortable opening up emotionally, so they walk away because whatever happened in their childhood, they can't cry, they can't process emotion, they can't this or that, so they just go. And I want to remind you again, wounded masculine or feminine energy exists within all of us, regardless of your skin suit or your body. But yeah, that Queen of Wands, look, and with that King of Wands earlier, you have like this balance coming. You have love, but you cannot just run away every time an emotion comes up. You need to ask what that's telling you. You need to sit with that. Oh, am I feeling sad? Am I feeling anxious? Am I feeling excitement, elation, joy, zen, whatever it is? And by the way, link in bio, gingermama.com with the 3 A's. I have free blog posts. One is on wounded and healed masculine and feminine energy traits, and which one you might be in at the current time. There's another list of like 191 emotions. So if you're struggling to identify your emotions, Gemini, that might be a way to exercise your emotions, but also that logical piece of your mind. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. I do want to point out too that black obsidian seems significant for some of you, especially if you're struggling energetically or you get to a place where you feel like you're in spiritually one second and the next minute you're tapped out. Black obsidian is just protective in nature. It also is grounding. I feel like some of you have that head in the clouds energy. And you need to reground. And so just holding this, maybe if you're meditating, sleeping, traveling, jewelry is great, but it just feels like almost you holding more like a black stone or black obsidian of some kind. So I love you guys, Geminis. Link in bio if you guys would like to book a personal reading. I'm also over on TikTok and Instagram, and I plan to get my new Facebook account going. I haven't been over there in a really long time, especially not with work. So that's my plan in the next couple of weeks. So thank you for joining me. Please check out your sun, moon, and rising, and I'll see you next month. Have a great month.